Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Podcave podcast. We are here after a little bit of time away. I'm back in action, and I've got a super duper artist from around here, a guy I know who's exciting to be around. His name is Kenn Vidro, and he's an animated guy, I would say, but he does children's books and illustrations and just these super fun. I don't know. That's enough of my introduction, Ken. Let's get your introduction. Kenn Vidro.
Great.
Welcome
Great.
to the Podcave podcast.
Appreciate it. I feel very humbled that I actually am able to be on your podcast because I know lots of people want to be on this. So I feel very entitled. I feel very lucky. No, actually, as you had mentioned before, as Paul mentioned, I'm an animator. Well, not an animator the way animators are, but I draw very animatedly.
Yeah.
That makes any sense?
Yeah.
I do a lot of cartoon characters, very whimsical art. I always loved that. Even as a little sixth grade kid, I remember thinking, boy, this would be the life to draw cartoons and get paid for it. I kind of do that. I'm retired, but I kind of sell my things, so I guess I do now. But I love color. I make the color bright and wild in my animations, whether I'm painting or I'm illustrating my books. Although the books are in black and white, I must say. But they're that way.
I have one of your books too, and I plan
to
get one. I plan to get one again this year. So
okay, good.
Maybe the sequel, the equal sequel.
Equal sequel, because it is square pairs.
Yeah.
I think I'd be considered maybe a cartoonist. That probably would be what I would title myself as an artist, more than anything else. I can do the other stuff, but that's what I feel comfortable with. That's what I feel is who I am. So I do it that way. So
I met you at an event called Art in the Park.
Yes.
2 years ago, I believe, and here in our hometown, and it's a fun event. It's in a beautiful garden park area down by the river and dam in our, cute little Rockford. You don't live in Rockford, but
no.
you used to work.
I taught in Rockford.
Taught in Rockford. I want to get to that.
Yeah, just about 40 years, which you're not even 40. But anyway.
Right, thanks.
And hopefully I don't look quite that old.
No, it's incredible. So, what I was going to say is so I walked by your tent, and not only are you all the artwork, your artwork is just lively and it's full of life and it's full of color and like you said, it's cartoons and it's spread out all over the fence and the sidewalk and your tent. And it was just like, boom, good morning to you. It's like 9 a.m. You're like, whoa, hello. Yeah. And then I start talking to you, and you're more full of life than your art.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm full of it, but I appreciate.
Yeah, well, that's what it takes, Yeah. So that was, and right away I was just like, wow, man, this guy's great, So
appreciate it.
So I've been bugging you ever since I met you. Hang out.
It's a good thing.
Hang out and love to talk about art, and so here we are on the Podcave podcast.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Art. So I do have I'm curious a couple things though.
Sure.
You taught art in school, kids, and I know that I've seen people talk. I've met people that talked about you, and they're like, "Oh, Mr. Vidro, yeah, man." Everybody has the same. I think the feeling that I have about you is you're just magnetic, so I think anybody polarly. Maybe I'm not a bipolar dude. Anybody that's met you or had you for an art teacher, I think, must have been very lucky because I'm sure you're competent in your teaching art and, but also just I think probably I've never taught art, and I've taken art classes, and I think one of the main things about it is just the enthusiasm and the energy that you put into it. To get excited about art,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
But teaching art was the best job ever, and I love it. And now I'm lucky enough to have grandkids, so now that I'm their teacher. But oh my gosh, it's such a creative outlet that people have to have it. Everybody has that in so many professions. That creative element has got to be developed somehow, to be a better engineer, to be a better doctor. It's important in everything. So I always looked at it that way in art. Not that I taught and said that to the kids that that's important, but I wanted to not only have them be creative in art, but in other things. So I would tie other things together with it as well sometimes.
Right.
But kids are so innocent. They love art. And I taught kindergarten through 5th grade. I taught middle school. I taught high school. I even taught adult ed at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has that same desire to be good at it. Younger kids, they just think they are good at it, which is the best way to first approach it.
I love it.
Yeah. And I always would tell the younger kids, I'd say, go home and ask your mom and dad if they can draw. And 99% of the kids would say, my mom and dad said they can't draw. And I'd say, never, ever. I said, never. After you're done with me being your teacher, when you go to 6th grade, because I usually would have them K through 5, I don't want you to ever say that, because you can draw because I taught you. You had me. I taught you how to draw. I taught you how to do that. So I don't want you as adults ever to say that. So hopefully in Rockford, there's a lot of kids running around.
Yeah, everybody can draw. I was wondering about cool. That, why everybody can draw.
That's right.
Actually, there's an artist that I like. His name is Will Terrell, and he does like YouTube videos. Have you heard of him?
No, I have to check it out.
One thing that he said that I really thought was awesome is he says, people always ask me, like, when did I start drawing? And that's the wrong question. The question is, when did you stop drawing? Because every kid draws. But
You're right.
Yeah, but some of us just don't have the sense to stop. And so we keep going.
You and I are right there.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love it.
Yeah,
see, I'm doodling great? Even as we're talking. I'm going to show it to you.
Oh, you're drawing?
Yeah, we never stop doing it.
No. It's a sickness. It's a curse sometimes.
That's a good quote.
But yeah, isn't that great? I was going to ask you though. What I'm curious about is, so while you were teaching, did you make your books, and how much did you dedicate to your art career at that point, or was that something that just came on when you retired?
No, that's a good question. I think 2003, which I was still teaching, was my first book. But I always doodled, and of course my kids, my own kids, I have 4 kids. We would draw. We would always do things together. So when we had that time, I would do it. But now, of course, being a teacher, I had summers free, but I didn't have them free because to afford a family, teachers don't make a lot of money.
Right.
So I did have other jobs, but in between those jobs, I had a little more time in the summer. So that's when I kind of started sketching and putting them together. Mm-hmm. So always knowing, of course, my first book, Square Pairs, was kind of an inspiration from my mom, of all people, because we had 7 kids in our family. We'd go on these long trips in our old beat-up station wagon. My mom would play this game called Hink Pinks. Now, Hink Pinks was created in the 1800s. Not that my mom was born then, but anyways, from England. And it's a game similar to Square Pairs, but there's no picture. Mm-hmm. So it would be, rhyme, what is an open line? Cat. So you'd say the word clue, and you just try to match 2 words that rhyme to answer that. So I thought, why not put a picture with that? So a visual learner could look just at that, not even have to be read anything, and they could answer it. So it's kind of combining the 2 ways we learn, and that's how I kind of did that. But I did that not so much in teaching time, more in the summer. Published, and just kind of springboarded everyone to do a new book. So that's kind of what I have 8 different books, but they're not all scripters. So.
Wow, that's great. So it started before you retired, but I guess that's my what I was curious about is do we have us working stiffs? Do we have hope I mean, I draw every day. I don't care. I'm not going to wait till I retire to enjoy my art.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage other artists to.
That's good.
Don't wait.
To use that. Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. What did you say?
Do it every day. That's right. That's a good. It's good to keep drawing every day and motivate people to do that if they have that skill, or even if they don't, still doodle at meetings.
Yeah.
That was always that kid, like you probably were too in school. They look at your math sheet and go, "This isn't math. What are all these doodles?"
Yeah, right. That's my teacher in school told my parents, "How's he doing in math?" Well, his drawing's coming along pretty good.
That's good. That sounds familiar. I love that. I love that kid. That's why I love you as a student. If you want, you've been a teacher to me. I appreciate what you showed me on your pad. Like, he does unbelievable work as you probably know.
Hang on, Ken.
He's incredible. You have it on your blog if you share it, but it's great.
Hang on, Ken. I'm gonna stop for a sec because our connection seems to be getting sketchy here.
Okay.
Huh. Let me stop. Well, I don't want to stop because then it'll.
Okay. Is it something I said or I did?
No. No, you've been great. Okay. Well, we'll continue on. The picture's getting a little pixelated and stuff, and then.
Okay.
But oh well.
That's all right.
That's how this thing goes. So what next? So I hope you don't mind. If I bring up the art prize thing then.
No, go ahead. That's great.
And so you're in art prize this year. Art prize 10. Art prize is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it's a huge art competition, I guess.
Yep.
And Ken, I have to apologize to myself and everybody. I have not entered into art prize one single time.
Oh, you would be the winner. you should, dude. You would be the winner. I'd say, I know Paul Pate. I know. Honestly.
I was going to this year, and then I was starting to register for it, and I was just had too much other stuff going on, and I thought, I'm not going to overwhelm myself, and loser.
You got to get into it because you probably heard the latest. They're rotating now in every 2-year deal now with our prize. You know that?
No, what's going on?
They just announced. I think it was Thursday. It was a major announcement by DeVos because he's the creator of all this art prize good stuff. Okay. And it's going to be called every other year. It's going to be called Project 1, and then Project 2 in between. So the Project 1's that really defined everything that's going to happen, but they're going to hire one artist or a group that's going to actually be downtown teaching people, have people do art with them. Mm-hmm. So the competition is going to stagger every other year. So this is the 10th year, and then and they'll have the 11th year of art prize and Project 2 the next year. So they're changing their format a lot. And I think part of it was that maybe they felt artists were getting a little bit it's too hard every year. I would love to still do it every year, but they thought maybe the public was maybe saying, everything seems stagnant and seems the same every year. I don't think that. Yeah. I'm searching for reasons, and they haven't really come out completely with it. I'm sure it will come out soon.
Yeah.
The reasoning.
Yeah. I'm sure they put the thought into it. I'm with you. I mean, I don't need. I was talking to another artist friend of mine about that, and he was saying, there's some artists that will do one piece for art prize every year,
Yeah.
And we just got done talking about the fact that we draw every day. I don't need an event like that to come up with pieces, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, so it might be in number 12 that I have to be my first one.
Because you got 2 years to think about it now.
Yeah. Master in procrastination. So.
Yeah. Well, just a real quick note on our prize, because I always felt, and I still don't know, but I don't care anymore because I'm old. But I always wondered about the feeling about other artists, art critics as well, and the art prize people, whether cartoons are a medium that is considered art that would be something you'd put in art prize. But you know what? I thought, I don't really care. I'm going to enter. If somebody lets me post it, I mean, I care. I'm not being, like, wow. But I thought, it is a medium that people appreciate.
Oh, man.
So, but, with me, I was, that's why the very first year I did not enter. So I didn't enter till the second year. So I can't say that I've been in every art prize. But you know what? It is in the eye of the beholder. And I think cartoons are just as legit as abstract or as
I
realism.
Love cartoons. Yeah, I love cartoons. It's my favorite part.
So that was why I was kind of not into it. So if that it probably isn't your reason, but you got to do it.
Yeah. No, it's just procrastinration.
Well, it's busy. Your life is busy right now. See, my kids are all like gone, so I can do whatever.
Yeah. So, well, I promise. And anyway, for anybody watching that doesn't know what Art Prize is, it's just an incredible event in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And people say, I mean, like 100,000 people go downtown Grand Rapids to see art during that week. Yeah. And
so it's mid-September to. I can't remember the date. I think it's in the teens that it starts. and then it runs through the first week of October. So,
Yeah, and so if you think about that, it's like a professional football. It's like filling up the big house in Michigan, you know.
Yeah.
Except they're going down there for art.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
which is incredible, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's a good thing.
It's the big
Good
game.
thing.
It's the big game for a lot of artists.
Yep.
And
Super Bowl week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've never really looked at art. Another thing, I don't know how you feel about this, but I've never really looked at art as a competition.
Because it's hard to do that because, and I think I mentioned, I don't think I've ever entered a competition, although here you're saying art prize, this is a competition, so I have, but I don't enter that because I want to win, because there's just no way those jurors from New York would come and say, oh, this cartoon looks awesome. No, and the thing is, you want it to be from the heart. You want to love your art. And it's like, I make it because I enjoy making it, and I think other people enjoy looking at it. So I'm not thinking I want to win first prize. I mean, I compete maybe at ping pong because I can whip everybody's butt, but that's about it. But
really?
I'm not a competitive guy. You know?
Yeah, my thing with art is I've always just wanted to connect with people. I know for me, like I made a comic book for one comic book for this guy, Ty, and he has sold it around the world, and it's about him and his wife and in their fashion business, but he'll post pictures of he just yesterday sent one to Italy, you know, I mean, and so he'll post the picture then with the guy, whoever got the comic book, holding it, you know, from Italy, saying ciao, you know, or
that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
that is so
New
awesome.
Zealand. I mean, it's been all over the world, and I never expected that at all, you know, and
that's good.
And so that is just almost overwhelming, you know, to have my artwork be to go around the world like that. And yours is, you know, what I like about yours is it's you'll do, you know, Beer City, you know, I like your Beer City picture, you know, about Grand Rapids, how they won Beer City, and it's a, you know, it's a fun picture about, you know, beer, and then and everything from that all the way to the Square Pairs books, you know. I mean, you just go the whole spectrum.
I try to be diverse, try to hit all genres and all that, but you do as well. And
thanks.
That's good.
Thanks. So tell me about your art prize piece for this year, then.
For this year, well, I'm not a political person. I mean, I vote, but this year wasn't easy to vote.
But you're not gonna divulge who you voted for.
It's kind of funny because what I decided to do art prize wise is I love dinosaurs. I haven't done dinosaurs for a long time, and my grandkids love dinosaurs. I said, you know, Papa, that's what they call me. You got to do dinosaurs. So I said, okay, but I'm gonna put a little bit of a political spin on it. Not that I usually do this, but if you look at artprize.com, you'll see they have entries there. And my middle one, can I get into detail on that or not so much?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My middle picture, I have 5 big paintings, 4x4 foot paintings in windows on the outside of Mojo's. So I'll plug where I'm at.
Yeah.
In the middle one has a triceratops reading the newspaper. And you can see the headline. It says, asteroids to hit the Earth. And behind him, asteroids are actually coming down. Now, we really don't know if that really is what killed the dinosaurs. There's theories. Most people believe it's true, but you never know. So to the right are dinosaurs that you would be in the military, kind of right-winged dinosaurs coming to look. And to the left are left-wing, maybe liberals coming in the press and the media as dinosaurs. And then the title of it is called, Is This the Original Fake News? So I just thought, well, you know, I just thought it fitting for these times. So we'll see what happens.
That's awesome.
If I get a lot of people throw tomatoes at it, I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm gonna tell you, from my opinion, I'm very opinionated. I'm not afraid to, you know, talk about it. But I think what you point out there, I can't wait to see it.
Oh, good.
What you pointed out there is the key. First of all, you got to have a sense of humor. Don't ever give up your sense of humor.
Yes.
You know, you're not taking a side. You're just putting it out there. It's something that we can talk about if you choose to, and be good natured about, and have fun, and don't be mean. Yeah. And I think that's what we need to hear. You know, in these times.
That's why.
Times of contentiousness. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's why next election year, I'm going to write in Paul Pape for president. Dude.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I'll write in your name, and we'll take over the world.
No, I don't want to be. You're young and you can do it.
I'll tell you what. I was president of that Rogue Rivers Artists Association. That was
you are.
No. I'm not anymore. Now it's Alan.
Oh, you're not.
No. My term was over, and I gladly stepped down. It was a little bit stressful.
Okay.
It was. Yeah. I'm not that. Artists are not cut out for that. So,
you're right.
So I like now
because we're a little more.
I can spend my energy doing fun things. So
there you go. Like football.
Yeah.
Like your football. Yeah. Fantastic. Cool.
So anyway, well, listen, Ken, this has just been a great conversation. Thanks for coming on the podcast. There's one thing that I do at the end of the podcast for all of my guests.
Yes.
And we're going to do this, okay? So I'm going to put you on a deserted island. You're on a deserted island, and you get to take 5 things. I get to pick what they are. So, I'm going to tell you, it's supposed to be rapid fire, but it never really is because I don't do much rapid. So there's you got to answer 5 questions. Like you get one. So we'll start. You're on a deserted island.
Yes.
And you get one dessert. What's it going to be?
Lemon meringue pie.
Wow, you were very decisive on that. Lemon meringue pie. I mean, you left out all the other pies and ice creams and,
It's my go-to dessert.
Okay. All right. So now you're on the deserted island. You get to take one book.
One book. Probably the Bible. Just because I'm not a highly religious person, but I think I would need it.
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. What about one album?
Ooh, that would be a tougher one. But I got to say, I think Stevie Wonder, Keys of Life. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
Keys of Life.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Awesome.
Songs in the Key of Life.
Thank you. Songs in the Keys of Life.
Wow.
I listen to it all the time. I just know the title.
Really, Stevie Wonder is my favorite musician, I would say.
No way.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's cool. We got that in common.
Yep.
That's an incredible album. I love Stevie Wonder. So that's 3 things. You're doing well. All right. Now, here's one of my favorite ones to ask. You get to take one actress.
One actress. Oh boy. Living or
it's your island, man.
Yeah, and most married men would probably say, "Well, my wife, she's kind of an actress. I'm going to bring her." But I which I would, but that wasn't the question. So I would probably take, and this is a stretch, but I just think she's adorable. It's Drew Barrymore. I always had a crush on her. She's just the cutest thing.
That's nice. Cool. Okay, that's 4. So you're on the deserted island. You got your lemon meringue pie. You got the Bible and Stevie Wonder and Drew Barrymore. Last thing, you get to take one tool from your garage, basement, or tool shed.
Probably, I'm not a handyman, so I don't have a lot of tools. I'll say a screwdriver. An alcoholic beverage.
Oh, screwdriver. Okay, good one.
Yeah, screwdriver. Orange juice and vodka. There you go.
All right.
Yeah,
perfect. This has got to be one of the best podcasts that I've ever put on here. And you're
good. Thanks, man.
You're a hoot. And I look forward to seeing you at Art in the Park this year and Art Prize and just seeing you around. Maybe we'll get together and have an Oberon sometime.
Oh, yeah. Those are good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
well, yeah, I appreciate you having me, and it's been my pleasure. And anytime, dude.
Cool. Great.
We'll see you soon.